Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. And can I just say, don't your girl look refreshed, huh? Ain't the skin just the glowing, huh? Clear, all that, huh? And then some, huh? Me and Big just got back from a little something, just, a little 1-2, a little vacation in Atlanta, and it was everything I feel like we both needed. We wanted to really set off the year with great intentions, and this year we got plans. We said that we wasn't gonna tell people about our plans. Y'all just gonna know about the plans after it's planned, and it happened. So Atlanta happened, and I am ready to tell y'all what happened. So to be honest, we really didn't think that we was gonna make it to Atlanta, okay? Because how we picked it was, to be honest, it was just one of the options that was like reasonably priced. We had 3 options that we were narrowing it down with. I believe it was Atlanta, Vegas, and Chicago. And with our schedules and getting that together, because it's not something that we really wanted to take off for, we wanted to do it smart. And what I say by doing smart was we decided that we were going to be disciplined enough to make basically our date nights, our travel days. So basically we normally go out to eat, or let's just say we normally date once or twice a week. So instead of spending that money going out on dates once or twice a week, we will just take that and go and apply it to a trip. And we do that once a month, and that would be our budget for the trip. City, stay, transport, food, all of that is included in the budget, right? Because it's other things that we want to do, plus we want to maintain our lifestyle and what we're doing now and not miss a beat. We don't want to take off extra time to do this on top of the vacation we already have, because we know how we want to utilize that. So it's kind of basically getting more bang for our buck this year with our travel time. So that is something that we decided to do. That is something that we want to do and gonna do. So we gonna see what had happened and where we go. My man told me not only did he want to give me the world, he wanted to show it to me. And I want to do the same. Not only just, explore the world with him. I just want to he's great company to keep. Okay? He's great company to keep. That's all I will say. Speaking of great company, okay. So I've been to Atlanta before. He has never been to Atlanta. So it's his first time going, and we didn't think we were going to make it because it just so happened to land on the same week that the freeze was going to happen here in Houston. So everybody was in a panic. I was not in a panic. I was to be honest, I think people is putting 20 on 10. Nothing is going to happen, and we're going to be able to make it. I'm not canceling anything. I'm going to see if they cancel it. If Marriott canceled the hotel reservations, okay. If United canceled a flight, talking about they can't fly to Bush, okay. Then it's out of our hands. We can get refunded. But baby, if they still up and running, baby, we going to still be up and running too. Everything was great over here on the home front. We was already locked and loaded, ready to go. All I needed to do was pack my bags. So we was going basically back and forth a couple days leading up into the trip, because we were supposed to be leaving on Sunday, which is really when it was supposed to be the thick of it, So we were leaving Sunday night. Our flight was at 8 o'clock. Yeah. Our flight was at 8 o'clock or whatever Sunday night, and that's when it was supposed to be I think the thick of it or whatever. Or that morning, child, nothing happened. As y'all know, and as y'all seen, United was still with it. And when I called to check on our hotel reservation in Atlanta at the Marriott, they was like, baby, we good over here. I don't know what's going on over there, but we good over here. And I was like, well, okay. But let's just say, something transpire, because they talking about it's delayed. Do y'all have a contingency plan? Do y'all have a generator? Are y'all giving our rooms away? Like, because I ain't trying to be mid-air and y'all cancel our stuff, because what I'm going to do? What I'm going to do? And she was like, nah, that's not going to happen. And, you know, so I told him what happened. He told me he wanted to do it. I said, Betty, bet. And I started packing our bags, immediately arranged for our child to go and stay with some friends and family. And baby, we was on the way to Bush. So parked our car at the parking garage, checked in, and one of the things that I do like to do before we leave out for our flight, I love to indulge in the lounge. Y'all not gonna ever get me to stop that. Y'all ain't gonna ever get me to stop that. If you haven't experienced that, do it. Do it at least one time. If that's not something that you into, okay, fine. But to be honest, I feel like you get more bang for your buck when you do that. Me and Big did that prior to our flight, taking off to Atlanta. And I believe it was like, let's just say it was like 120 for us both to eat as much as we want, drink as much as we want. You have breakfast, you have lunch, you have snacks, whatever you wanted to drink. You have like the bourbon, you have the gin, you have the rum, you have the tequila, you have champagne, you have beer, you have whatever you want to indulge in. You have private lavatories, some of them even have the showers, and you can double end it. So like for instance, again, we was flying United, we was going to Atlanta, they have a lounge at both cities. So on a good day, we would have been able to indulge in the lounge at Bush, and then when we land in Atlanta, we could have dined in the lounge there before we went to our hotel reservation. Unfortunately, when we did land in Atlanta, their lounge was already closed. So we couldn't do that, which was still fun because you still get your money's worth. Because when we was on our way traveling back, we did not do the lounge on the way back. We just, had a couple drinks at the bar and a little nosh. Well, we didn't even have a little nosh there because we literally just ate prior to us arriving at the airport, so I wasn't hungry. That's the reason why we opt out from doing the lounge again. We just felt like it just was not needed. But when we was at the lounge and we just had a couple drinks, that was like $60-$70. And I'm like, see, and that was just drinks. We didn't eat. And we paid half of what we did pay to get in the lounge, and we both ate really well and drunk very well prior to getting on the plane. So it's just all about how you want to spend it. I just feel like you should at least try it once. Just try it once. The only way I won't do it if I'm getting on a flight is if I'm flying first class, because first class do feed you well too. Because when I did the lounge and the first class, that was too much. I couldn't even enjoy the food that they served us on the plane because, baby, I was just too full. I didn't realize how abundant that the servings would be. I'm just saying. But anyways, we were able to make it to Bush, get in the lounge, enjoy that, board our flight. And let me tell you something else, baby. I don't know if it was because we was in the middle of like a tropical storm or whatever was supposed to be going on all up and through, or the fact that our flight was at 8. But when I tell you it was easy, breezy, lemon squeezy, going through the TSA, going through the baggage claim, all of it. It was smooth. It was hard. You can hear a rat piss on cotton. It was nobody running, nobody rushing. Everybody was chilling. It was literally, it was so calm, y'all. And I have never seen the airport like that. I guess it's because I always flown during peak hours when everybody trying to board and everybody trying to get on. Baby, it was so smooth going up and through. I was like, honey, we need it. What is this called? The red eye? We need to start taking the red eye more often. Isn't that when you travel late? Yeah, when nobody there. That's yeah. Yeah. Yes. We need to do that because there's nobody here, no pushing and no shoving. It was really, really calm. It really, really was. When you land in the Atlanta airport, I love the art that was exhibited through. We was staying at the Marriott right in College Park. College Park is about 10-15 minutes right from the airport. We got checked in, took a shower, and got started for the next day or whatever, because by the time we made it, it was after 11. So the next day, we started off with breakfast. We started off with brunch. We actually went to a Black-owned restaurant called the Breakfast Boys. It was actually very, very delicious. I found it off the Tick and the Talk, and it was awesome. Our server name was Maggie, and Maggie, oh my God, Maggie's so beautiful, so bubbly. We took every single last one of her suggestions. The salmon egg rolls, Big had the steak plate, and I had the shrimp and grits. We on a shrimp and grits tour. We trying to see if anybody gonna top them shrimp and grits that we had in OKC last year, because y'all, them shrimp and grits from OKC last year, we still trying to find it. Like I told Big, it was that rosemary. It was that rosemary. Now, I still haven't made shrimp and grits yet. I still haven't made it, and I'm kind of low-key a little nervous because he got the OKC grits all the way up here. It's up here. So I feel like my grits can't even compete, man. You know what I'm saying? Because like I told him, this is like a gravy. I don't do no gravy. I have a sauce. I have a cream sauce, but I don't do no gravy. This was like a gravy with the rosemary. I didn't do that. But I mean, I'll make it, but I don't do that. But we had that. We had these drinks. I forgot which one we had, but his was better. So I took his drink and finished that one, and he got him another one. And after we left the Breakfast Boys, we went downtown. Now, when we went downtown, we went to this area called, Jesus, what is it called? I might link it below. If not, I do have some shorts. If y'all want to go take a look, I might link that below. But it was kind of like a market. It was a market, something market. It started with the P, and it was a market. It reminded me of the milk market that I went to when I was in Denver. It's basically when you have little shops and restaurants and shopping centers inside of this big, beautiful, it's very bespoke, it's gorgeous. We had a really, really, really good time in there. A lot of Black-owned shops, crystal shops that I loved. So we did the shopping, and then after, we went scooty biking. And if you know your girl is always on the scooty bike. I told Big we need to go ahead and invest in one. I want a scooty bike. I want a scooty bike. I love those little things. You have no idea. We did something else I want to say. Oh, no. We ate at a restaurant that was also in the market. And we had so much food after that day. We also stopped by the liquor store, got a little something drank. You know what I'm saying? We was like, I made dinner reservations. I mean, I had a little spot picked out. Okay, I didn't make the reservations. It was in my head of the reservations, but I had a spot picked out. But we had so much food left over from the Breakfast Boys and whatever else we ate at the market. I forgot the name of it, but they had this amazing elote. All right, they had this amazing elote, and let me tell you something. I made it like a dip. Okay, and I cannot believe I like corn all of a sudden. I used to avoid that starch like the plague because it has no nutritional value. And corn is the only vegetable you eat, and it's gonna come out right back solid in your poop. It's something genetically wrong about that, but I've been corning it up. Mexican street corn to be more specific. Baby, I told him, baby, I said, I'm going to shuck that corn and I'm going to make it a dip. Bring me some chips. Bring me some chips, please. Fortified. Babe, it was, y'all. When I tell you it was bussin', and then the soup of the day was this type of chili, and y'all know it's been a little chilly outside. Baby, bring that to go too. Bring that to go too, honey. I forgot what else we had, because it was so much food, y'all. We had so much food. Let me tell you something about Atlanta. Atlanta gonna feed you. They gonna feed you. So after a nice quiet evening, the next morning we decided to go to Dave's cheesesteaks. All right, now I've been craving some Dave cheesesteaks. I've been craving cheesesteaks, period. I love me a cheesesteak, and I heard great things about Dave, so I really, really wanted to try it. So we went there or whatever and whatnot, and he got the Dave's one, and I got something else. I forgot the one I got. The one I got had the truffle mayo though, but his bussin'. Every time he picks something, it's always better than mine. No lie, it really is. And you know what I love about my man? He's such a gentleman, and he know me. I ain't even gotta ask, cause he said all over my face. It be written, okay? I ain't got to say over, but he be like. He'll just switch the plate. And you know why he do that? First of all, because he's amazing. But second of all, he know I'm not going to finish it anyway. So in the end, he basically get 2 meals. He eat the food that I did not particularly care for. And then he eat the rest of the ones that he originally chose. It's really smart. It's really smart when you think about it. Okay, but don't see that I don't peep what you doing. I peep what you doing. I peep what you doing. All right, because that loss is not really a loss. Anywho, but that cheesesteak was busting. And after that, we went to the World of Coke. Now, y'all, I did not expect to enjoy that as much as we did, but we did. And I don't know if it's because there was no expectations there or because we're a bunch of nerds, okay? Because it gives you the history of Coke, right? For instance, I didn't know that Coca-Cola was invented to be a headache medicine. Did y'all know that? I did not know that. I did not know it was originally invented to be a headache medicine. Even to this day, if you was to drink that Coca-Cola at room temp, it will pacify your headache, okay? Now, they didn't touch about the fact that Coke used to have, Coke in it. They didn't touch on that. They just said that the recipe changed. And when the recipe changed, people didn't like that change. They also said it was a lot of bootleggers and a lot of people that would duplicate, the logo and the soda. It was like, yes, baby, it was a lot of pretenders. It was a lot of fraud people selling bootleg Coke. And Coke really wasn't even selling like that at first. They was selling, I think they said, an average of 9 Cokes a day. 9 a day. And so it gives you the history about Coke. It tells you about all of that. You get to taste all the Cokes from all around the world. Zimbabwe, China, Portugal, like everyone. And you get to create your own. You get to create your own Coke, and you get to taste it right on the spot. You get to taste it. And I told y'all we enjoyed it. We really did. You get the beatbox, your own little mixtape of Coke. You get to make your own design if you wanted to do a bottle. You see all the limited edition bottles that they did all across the years. You take a picture option with the polar bear person. It was awesome. No lie, I would probably go to the World of Coke every time I go back to ATL. Every time I go to ATL, I'm pulling up to World of Coke because it was just awesome. I had an amazing time. The games that they asked y'all to play, the little mini movie. It was no video allowed up in there, so you can only see me walking into the movie theater, not what they showed. I forgot about the little mini movie. That was awesome. Going to World of Coke is definitely like very, very awesome. We had an amazing time at World of Coke. After that, we went walking downtown, P Street and all of that. And we went and got a little nosh at this other little place, just cause like, why not? More drinks and things like that, scooty bikes. And then it was time for us to get back and come back home to our son and get back to the real world and get out of our bubble. Because Big was like, baby, I ain't think about nothing and nobody else, because we was in our bubble, and we really, really was. And, I also finished a book and started another one. So, to catch up on that, first of all, I've been reading The Housemaid. That's a trilogy book. It started because I seen the movie. Big took me to go see the movie a couple weeks ago, so it intrigued me, so I wanted to read the book. So I read the first one, read the second one, and now I'm on the third one. And I gotta say, I've been enjoying the trilogy, and more so just reading, period. I've always been a voracious reader. I love to read. I stopped for a minute because, of course, I was going through some things with my divorce and moving back home and transitioning, different job, different everything. So I really didn't have time to participate in that luxury of really just sitting down, calming my mind, and reading a book. But I am glad that your girl is back there. I'm going to finish the series that I am now. If you have any recommendations, please feel free to drop it down in the comments. I would love to know. And I'm also very excited about Butterfly 6. Ashley Antoinette, she just released the release date on that book. It is going to come out later this year in the fall. And I'm just happy. Y'all know y'all my honorary book club anyway. So I hope, and that we continue to read some great material that we got coming, and I am just so looking forward to it. So let's talk about the book. Now, I already did some short videos for book 1, so I won't do that here. If you want, you can go back and take a look, but I will talk about book 2 only because I'm still currently reading book 3, and I have about an hour left in that book before I'm finished. But let's talk about book 2. First of all, Millie and Enzo end up being a thing. They being a relationship, okay? They was in a relationship because, Enzo went to go console old girl, okay, in movie 1, all right? And she moved on with her daughter, but him and Millie kept in contact. That is up until he had to go back to Italy to take care of his mom because she was passing. So they end up breaking up, and she haven't heard from bro since, right? So now she's living in an apartment in New York in the Bronx. She is dating a lawyer named Brock, and she is working for a new family because she just recently got fired for nannying for another family because the daughter called her mama in front of the mama, and the mama got mad and like fired her on the spot. Mind you, the mama don't even be mama, but okay, girl, go off. So she went trying to find another job. This person named Douglas, he ended up reaching out saying he needs some help around the house, and she started working for that family. They paid her very, very well. Now, when I say family, I mean family as just far as Douglas and his wife. I cannot think of her name right now. Maybe it will come to me in the middle of this, but Douglas and his wife, Nina, I think it's Nina. It was Nina from the first book. Anyway, so she's working for Douglas and Nina. I'm just going to go with Nina. Working for Douglas and Nina. Nina never comes out the room, though. Nina never comes out the room, and when she do see Douglas, Douglas is very stern, very short. He always picks out the meals of what his wife and himself is going to have. Millie is to prepare it and then go about her way. She do hear noises, but she is told to stay away. One day she did see bruises all over Nina's face, and she told Nina like, "Hey, what's going on? Is some, what's happening? I can help you out of this. Do you have anybody you can call? Old school members, anybody?" And she was like, "My husband is very, very dangerous. Even if I did know somebody, he would come after me. He would come after you. I do not trust it. I'm just accepting my fate of what is." So while Millie is dealing with all of this, she has a feeling that she is being followed. She do keep seeing this car that's constantly coming around. It's a Mazda with a crack headlight. And, it's kind of too distinguished to miss. And she's like, somebody is following me, but I do not know who. But it's kind of like a secondary thought in the back of her head. Brock is very much so in love with Millie, but Millie is not in love with Brock. I mean, she has feelings for Brock, but she's not in love with Brock. She loves what they have, but it's not anything too serious because she's afraid to let her guard down and let him know about her background and the fact that she is a felon and she went to prison, because she feel like he would judge her and then drop her. And she did not want to take that risk because this is her first serious relationship after Enzo. And again, she has feelings for him. She's just not in love with him. And even though he says it constantly, all the time, she just does not feel the need to say it back. She does get assaulted in the hallway of her building by her neighbor Xavier, and when the cops come to question the whole thing, they really do not believe her because of her background. But then a couple days later, Xavier get arrested because they found drugs in his apartment. Now Xavier says he has never done drugs, he has not done heroin, he doesn't even know how it got there. However, it got there. While Millie was cleaning the house one day, she seen a bloody handprint on the tub, and she decided that, okay, I am going to do something. I am going to help this lady. And while she's making this decision to do so, she do get a call from the temp agency, and they said that they never ran her ad. So it was no way that Douglas and Nina could have known about her if they never ran her ad. So she got immediately like paranoid about that. So she called to confront Douglas, and she was like, "How did you get my information to come work from you?" And he was like, "I actually got it from my wife." And when she confronted the wife while she was in the room locked behind closed door, again with bruises all over her face, she said, "I got your number from a girl who you used to, work for. The one y'all seen in the end of movie part 1, the one who had the bandage and she was playing with knives, her." She said she got her number from her and that she wanted to come up with a plan to get away from her husband. She said she thought about what Millie said and that she did have a friend that was in college that she can go stay with, and she would need some help to get dropped off. Like, she wanted to meet her friend halfway. So Millie was like, "Betty, bet, I got your back. I'm gonna rent a car. I'll drive you out there. Your friend can come pick you up. You should have enough money to, keep you on a good, easy, wherever, like staying with your friend. But you should be good for about a good couple months to a year. You have a little cushion. You have a little cushion." So that was the plan. They rented the car. She drove them out there. I think it was Albany. So it was like 5-6 hours with traffic, dropped her off. So Millie assumed, like, okay, since I dropped off the wife, I no longer have a job. I need to find a job. But before she can find something, Nina, the wife, says that Douglas found out where she was, brought her back, beat her again, and now, like, she's here. Can you come back and start working for us? And Millie said, okay. Millie went back. She was like, "Let me help you escape." Nina showed her where a gun was that was in a false bottom of a book. And one night when Millie was doing laundry. She overheard an altercation going on in the room. She go in the room and see Nina getting choked out by Douglas, and she shoots Douglas. Douglas falls. Nina tells Millie, don't worry about it. I got this. You need to go. Don't worry about this. So Millie leaves. She goes home. On her way home, she sees that black Mazda again. So this time the black Mazda stops. Somebody's getting out the car and walking towards her. Who is it? Who is walking towards her? It is Enzo. She was like, I knew somebody was following me. Enzo, I understand that you've been, stalking me. Why have you been stalking me? He was like, because I seen you with Brock. Well, he was actually calling him Broccoli. I see you with Broccoli. So I wasn't really stalking you. I was just observing you from a distance. Just making sure you was all right. Enzo, was also the one who set up the drugs in Xavier's apartment because he seen all of that go down. And he was very disappointed that Brock, being a lawyer and her man and all, did not do nothing. He also did not like the fact that Millie was a suspect. So Millie confessed to Enzo all about everything that happened with Douglas and Nina, the fact that she just banged somebody and that this person could be unalived. So Enzo was like, don't panic, we don't know nothing because we haven't heard nothing. So then we hear the 10 o'clock news, dun dun dun, and here's the wife, Nina, talking about, oh my God, my husband was a great man and this person unalived him in cold blood, and I cannot believe it. She basically flipped the script on Millie, painted Millie to be out the person of interest, and for her to be arrested because it turned out Nina was having an affair the whole time. She was having an affair with someone who looked so similar to her husband that Millie really didn't even realize that wasn't her husband until they showed a photo of the real husband on the news. So when she seen the photo of the real husband on the news, she was like, wait a minute, that's not the man that's not the man I've been seeing. I mean, looks very much like him, but that's not him. So it was because Nina's husband was very wealthy. He was like a gazillionaire, right? But he was very humble and lived a very modest life. He wanted to have a nice little house in Long Island. She wanted to have a nice penthouse in Manhattan. So they wanted to live two different ways. So him loving his wife, he gave her both. He was like, look, we would have our house in Long Island, and when I need to do business in the city, we'll have the penthouse in Manhattan, even though it's just us two. We have no children, we have no pets, we don't need no 5-bedroom house. But okay, if it makes you happy, it makes you happy. But then he found out that his wife was cheating on him, so he cut her off financially, which made her go to his house, their house in Long Island, to confront him. And he admitted, like, hey, I know that you're cheating on me. I want us to go to counseling. I do not want to lose my wife behind this. However, we're getting rid of the penthouse, and I'm gonna be the sole financial ownership of everything. You will not have any ties, no control, no nothing. If you need anything, you come to me. Also, I want to give all of this money away. We'll have enough money for us to survive on and live comfortably, but I want to give all of it to charity. And I just want us to start fresh because I really feel like the money is coming between us. And when he said that, that's when she came up with the plan to eliminate her husband and take all of his money. And she needed the side dude. I forgot his name, but we're going to call him Robert. I think his name was Robert. She needed to talk to the side dude. Now the side dude, Robert, he was her husband's secretary husband. Robert was her husband's secretary husband. And he claimed that he didn't like his wife, so that's why he was cheating. And she Nina didn't like her husband, so that's why they was cheating, and they just was cheating with each other. And I guess it was just close in proximity, because y'all know how that go. She didn't care that Millie was going to be a casualty She didn't care about that because she was like, hey, she deserves it. She has a history of violence. She did this before. She's gonna go to prison. I'm gonna have a clean slate, and I'm gonna run off with my lover and all of this money. Okay? All they had to do was pow the real one. So she called her husband to come over because she convinced him that she was going to sign some divorce papers. And that was the only reason why he rushed over to come see her. So he rushed over to come see her only because he thought that he was going to finally, get a divorce from her or whatever and whatnot. But instead, the original plan was for Robert to come and pow while they was both sitting on the couch. But Robert was too busy crying in the corner. Robert was crying in the corner in the kitchen and he couldn't pow. So Nina had to do it. So Nina ended up powing. All right. So she's thinking, okay, I did it or whatever and whatnot. So now we can be free to run off and be on our merry way, just only for her to find out that sis was cut out the wheel. Sis was cut out the wheel. It was actually a prenup that he had sis sign that said if you do any adultery, you don't get me or my money or nothing. So she left with nothing. And then Millie found all this out with the help of Enzo about Robert, and then found out that Robert and Nina was going to the cabin. So she told the wife, the secretary, I was your lover and your secretary. Told the secretary where the husband at. Secretary went and the husband while he in the tub sipping on some bubbly, and then went and confronted Nina, and Nina, well, not like that. Like that. She actually drugged Nina with some pills and poisoned her. So Millie was exonerated. That was a really, really good book. And that was a really, really trip to Atlanta. And if January is on a great start like this, can you imagine how the rest of the year is going to go? What are y'all plans? Y'all let me know. Until next time, I'll talk to you later. And if you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.